You think you're chasing your dream life, but you're actually tuning into static. You wake up, visualize, script, affirm. You do all the things they say to do, but something still doesn't land. It's like the signal keeps slipping through your fingers. And here's the paradox no one talks about. The universe doesn't hear your goals. It feels your frequency, not the one you wish you were on, the one you actually live in, moment to moment, breath to breath, baseline, nervous system, emotional hum. So let's ask the uncomfortable question. What if your biggest block isn't effort? It's distortion. Because every thought, every emotion, every silent fear, they're not just passing clouds, they're data. And your body is a transmitter, constantly broadcasting into the quantum field, not just what you say you want, but what your system believes is safe to receive. And that safety, it's shaped by your earliest imprints, unprocessed pain, and the identity you've worn like armor for decades. So here's the real disruptor. You're not manifesting from vision boards, you're manifesting from vibrational memory, from the echo of old stories vibrating in your cells, which means every desire you chase while stuck in emotional static just loops you back into the noise. Pause. Feel that. That ache in your chest isn't failure. It's feedback, not a punishment, not a rejection, just the field, reflecting the signal you're sending. So if you want something different to land, you don't push harder, you tune deeper. Let's go where most never do, into the hidden transmitter of your life, the one beneath the words, beneath the willpower, beneath even the dream itself. You've been told to want more, dream bigger, speak it into existence. But here's the paradox most miss. The more you want something, the more you tell the field you don't have it. Energetically, wanting is lack in disguise, a whisper of not enough, a signal of separation. You're using the energy of emptiness to call in abundance, and the field, it doesn't respond to words. It mirrors what you embody. Neuroscience calls it predictive coding. Your brain isn't just reacting, it's forecasting, filtering reality through what it expects to be true. So if your body expects rejection, if your nervous system braces for disappointment, then no matter what you consciously desire, your frequency hums with caution. And that hum is the real magnet. It's like pressing the gas while your other foot's on the brake. You're affirming the future but rehearsing the past, trying to leap forward while anchored in old safety codes. This is why the things you chase can feel so close to you and yet slip away. It's not punishment, it's incoherence, because alignment isn't about wishing, it's about wholeness, about your mind, body and field broadcasting one unified signal. And right now, if there's a gap between what you want and what you feel safe having, the signal splits, and the field reflects static. So the work isn't to want harder, it's to feel safer receiving, to untangle desire from desperation, to stop performing for the dream, and start becoming the frequency of it. This is the path of frequency mastery. Not louder, not faster, clearer, truer, embodied. Here's the hidden layer almost no one speaks about. Your subconscious isn't just where memories live. It's your broadcast tower, always on, always transmitting, not what you say you believe, but what your body has learned to expect. From the time you were small, you were tuning, not just to words, but to energy, the tension in the room, the love withheld, the silence after the storm. You learned safety, or the absence of it, in your nervous system, long before you had language for any of it. Bruce Lipton calls this the programming phase, ages 0 to 7, when your brain is wide open, downloading reality without filters, and what you felt the most became the signal you now send. So if love came with anxiety, success with pressure, attention with punishment, your system remembers, not in thoughts, but in frequencies. This is where polyvagal theory meets the field. Your vagus nerve doesn't just regulate survival, it whispers the emotional baseline of your being, and that baseline is louder than any affirmation, because the field doesn't care what you want, it mirrors what you are. And what you are is the residue of every moment your body felt the need to protect you. But this is not your fault. You're not broken, you're just resonating with an old emotional code, a signal written in fear but broadcast as truth. So the work isn't fixing yourself, it's retuning the transmitter, softly, slowly, with reverence, not resistance. Because when you shift what your subconscious believes is safe, you shift the signal, and the field responds. You don't create the future by becoming someone else. You create it by remembering who you already are, in a higher vibration. The version of you who's already there, already whole, already living the life you ache for, isn't separate from you. They're a frequency, already existing, already broadcasting, and the question is never how to get there, but how to tune in. Quantum identity isn't about effort, it's about resonance. You match the signal and the field aligns, not out of magic, but coherence. Because your brain, it doesn't distinguish between memory and imagination. It just fires in patterns. So when you feel like your future self, your neurons wire for it. Your chemistry shifts, your energy reorganizes. This is rehearsal, not pretending. Rehearsal of a new resonance, a nervous system signal that says, I already belong here. But here's the key. You don't visualize to escape. You visualize to remember, to anchor into an inner reality that becomes more familiar than the doubt. So ask yourself gently, how does your future self breathe? Move, respond to fear, speak to the world, and then don't just watch them, become them, cell by cell, thought by thought, not all at once, but now and now and now, because the quantum field doesn't wait for time. It responds to frequency, and the frequency of the future you is already available. Not in the distance, but in this breath. Rehearse the resonance, and reality will follow. It's not what you think that creates, it's what you feel, consistently. Thoughts send the signal, but emotion gives it power. Emotion is the frequency. Your nervous system isn't just listening, it's singing. And the universe, it echoes back the melody. So if your body hums with fear, tightens in shame, contracts in doubt, that becomes the song you're broadcasting. Not out of punishment, but coherence, because emotion is energy in motion, and energy always seeks resonance. Studies on heart-brain coherence show this clearly. When you feel gratitude, love, safety, your electromagnetic field expands. Your heart and brain sync like an orchestra, tuning to the same key. This isn't spiritual poetry. It's measurable, palpable, real. So here's the pivot point. You don't manifest by thinking harder. You manifest by feeling clearer, feeling safer, feeling more you. But don't confuse this with being positive all the time. That's bypass. That's suppression wrapped in a smile. The real power is regulation, learning to feel without drowning, to hold emotion, not override it. You're not here to fake joy. You're here to reclaim it, to bring your nervous system back into harmony so that gratitude isn't forced, it's natural. Pause. Breathe. What song is your body humming right now? And is it one you'd want echoed back? Because manifestation is an echo, an energetic loop. And the more you soften into emotional truth, the more clearly the field responds. Your life is echoing back the music your body plays when no one's watching. Tune the feeling, and the signal shifts. Frequency isn't just a mindset. It's a state, and your state lives in your body. Your nervous system is the tuner, the dial that sets your signal before a single thought even fires, long before affirmation, long before action. Your body has already decided safe or not safe, and that choice, it sets the frequency. Dr. Nicole LePera reminds us, healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming safe being you, because when you're locked in fight, flight, or freeze, you're not broadcasting clarity. You're broadcasting survival. Scarcity isn't just a thought pattern. It's a physiological state. A body waiting for the next blow. A heart bracing for collapse. A mind looping for control. And when you try to manifest from that place, God, you're not attracting your desires. You're repelling them without even meaning to. But here's the soft truth. You're not stuck. You're just patterned. And patterns can be retuned. If you can shift your state, you can shift your signal. So instead of forcing your way forward, what if you soothed your system first? Instead of more effort, more safety. This is where quantum meets the body. Not just high vibes, but deep regulation. Breath by breath. Touch by touch. Stillness as signal. Because alignment isn't loud, it's steady. And your nervous system, when held, heard, and healed, becomes the most precise tuner there is. Let's drop from thinking into sensing, from forcing into feeling. This is the bridge to embodiment, and the beginning of real alignment. Close your eyes for a moment, not to escape, but to arrive, because this is where the shift begins, not in the future, not on the vision board, but here, in the now, in the body. We've been taught to visualize outcomes, to see the house, the love, the freedom, but the quantum doesn't speak in pictures. It speaks in emotion, and the body is the amplifier. So let's change the E. Question, not what do you want, but what does it feel like is to already have it? Performance psychology calls it embodied rehearsal. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity. The body just knows it as home. What does your dream life feel like? In your chest? In your breath? In your walk? What would it feel like to wake up with no urgency because you trust the timing? What would love feel like if you didn't have to prove yourself to earn it? What would abundance feel like, not as a number but as a rhythm in your nervous system? Pause. Let that resonance wash over you. You're not faking it. You're remembering. And every time you remember, you rehearse, you reinforce, you rewire. This is the new practice. Not affirmations shouted through tension, but feelings felt until they soften your signal. Because you don't manifest from the mind, you manifest from the field your body is generating. Now, and now, and now. So let this be the start, not a resolution, but a remembering. And if this resonates, subscribe, not to a channel, to a deeper way of remembering who you are. You're not forcing reality, you're becoming inevitable to it. Because when your thoughts align with your feelings, and your feelings align with your actions, you become coherent. And coherence is magnetic. Imagine a radio dial. When the signal is fuzzy, you don't hear the song clearly, but when it locks in, the music flows. Full, undistorted, true. That's what emotional coherence does. It sharpens your field. It clarifies your message to the quantum and the universe. It's always responding, not to what you want, but to the signal you sustain. So when your nervous system settles into safety, when your vision and your vibration finally match, you don't chase alignment, you embody it. You don't repeat affirmations to convince yourself. You live them, you breathe them, you walk as the proof. Science calls this entrainment, when smaller fields begin to sync with a stronger, more coherent one, and when your field becomes steady, your life begins to entrain to it. People shift. Opportunities bend. Time moves differently, not because you manipulated it, but because you harmonized with it. Pause. Feel that. The more coherent you become, the less you effort, the more you receive. Because clarity isn't just a mindset. It's a signal. One your body emits, one your field expands, one the quantum mirrors. So remember, you are the magnet, not by pulling harder, but by resonating truer. Let this land. You're not becoming aligned. You're remembering you always were. The universe isn't rewarding you. It's mirroring you. This isn't a merit system. It's a resonance field. You don't earn outcomes, you emit them. And this changes everything. Because when life feels stalled, when doors close, when your deepest yes is met with 1,000 no's, it's not punishment. It's precision. The field isn't judging, it's reflecting, it's showing you. Not the surface you, but the signal you, the one humming beneath your words, the one shaped by years of wiring, feeling, protecting, surviving. So what if that no wasn't rejection but redirection? What if it was feedback saying not you're unworthy such, but you're out of tune? Let that soften something inside. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Alignment doesn't come with applause, it comes with reflection. And sometimes, that reflection is uncomfortable. But discomfort is not failure, it's information. The field doesn't care what you hope for. It responds to what you broadcast. So if your life feels off, don't shame yourself. Listen, with compassion, with reverence, with the courage to retune instead of retreat. This is the dignity of the journey. Realignment isn't a punishment. It's a remembering, and every reflection, even the painful ones, are part of the recalibration. So the next time something falls away or fails to arrive and pause, ask gently, what is this showing me about my signal? And then tune deeper. It's not always the big things, not the vision boards, not the bold declarations, not even the morning routine. It's the micro signals that shape your field, the subtle cues you send without even realizing. The slight tightness in your voice when you say I'm fine, the tension in your shoulders when you talk about money, the way you shrink just a little when you're asked what you truly want. These are the emotional scents we wear, invisible but unmistakable, felt long before they're seen. You might speak the language of abundance, but if your presence hums with scarcity, the field feels that, because energy doesn't lie, it leaks, through posture, through tone, through micro-choices that all echo the same frequency. Do you feel safe being who you're becoming? Most don't. Not yet. Not because they're broken, but because their body is still of survival, of hesitation, of maybe I'm not ready yet. So this moment is an invitation, not to judge, but to notice. How do you walk into a room? How do you receive a compliment? How do you hit send on that idea you love? That's your frequency. Not the fantasy, but the embodied signal in real time. You don't need to fix it. You just need to feel it, to become intimate with the broadcast you're unconsciously running. Because awareness is the first transmutation, and the more precisely you listen, the more powerfully you tune. Take a slow breath, not to fill the space, but to clear it, because clarity doesn't come from effort. It comes from release. Every signal carries static, old stories, tense shoulders, inherited beliefs that whisper, this is just how life is. But it's not. That weight you've been holding, so much of it was never yours. It was handed down, picked up, absorbed through moments you didn't even know were shaping you. So let this be gentle, a quiet invitation. Exhale. Let go of what's not yours to carry. You don't need a breakthrough. You need a soft unraveling. Because emotional clutter isn't just in the mind. It lives in the body, in the way your chest tightens before speaking truth, in the clench in your gut when you try to trust timing. This is where the distortion begins. Not in what you think, but in what you've stored. So breathe again. Slower now. Feel your body begin to listen. You are not clearing to become good enough. You are clearing to become clear enough. So your true signal, the one beneath the armor, can rise steady, uninterrupted. This isn't a purge, it's a return to stillness, to softness, to self. And every time you choose to release, you amplify the signal of who you really are. So let the breath move. Let the tears rise, if they want. Let the static fall away without needing to explain it. The clearer the channel, the stronger the frequency. Let that be enough. Before you ask the universe for anything, pause, not to question your worth, but to realign with it, because desperation distorts. And the field doesn't respond to begging. It responds to being. You don't ask the field to save you. You become the version of you that's already safe, already held, already whole. This is the secret most miss. Desire is not a remedy for lack. It's the expression of coherence. When you're tuned, desire flows like breath, natural, effortless, expansive, not because something's missing, but because more wants to move through you. So the real work isn't forcing the outcome, it's becoming the vessel that can hold it, widening the capacity, calibrating the signal, choosing to source safety from within before you seek it from without. That's the shift. From asking to fix to aligning to create. You are not separate from the field. You are the field in form. And when your signal is clear, your presence does the asking. Silently, powerfully, inevitably. You don't need to prove your worthiness. You only need to embody it. So before you script the affirmation, before you send the intention into the sky, come home to the self that already knows. Because true manifestation doesn't begin with longing. It begins with remembering that you are the frequency, you are the invitation, you are the cause, not the consequence. Align first and then watch what comes to meet you. You don't arrive all at once, you tune again and again, like a violin before the symphony, like a gardener watering a field before the first sprout appears. Quantum alignment isn't a lightning strike, it's a devotion, a sacred discipline of energy, not perfection, presence. Each day your signal drifts, slightly out of key. Life tugs at your frequency with fear, with noise, with old echoes. And still you return, not with force but with care. You breathe, you soften, you feel. And in that quiet recalibration, you come home to your signal. Because mastery isn't loud, it's consistency. The quiet act of choosing alignment when no one's watching. When doubt rises, when nothing has manifested yet. It's easy to think the work isn't working. But the field hears every note you play, every moment you regulate instead of react, every time you feel the future now. That's resonance. That's the real rehearsal. So don't chase the peak state. Tend the baseline, the version of you who has the life you want isn't trying harder. They're just tuned in more often, more gently, more fully. So practice the feeling, rehearse the resonance, embody the future, and now not as fantasy, as frequency. This isn't a performance, it's a remembering of how powerful you already are when you stop outsourcing your signal. And each time you return to that inner hum, the field listens. The world responds. Keep tuning, keep tending. This is the practice. You've been taught to chase, to climb, to earn. But the truth has always been quieter than that. Your dream life isn't waiting at the top of some ladder. It's not a prize, behind locked doors. It's not out there, it's a vibration, already pulsing in the field, already shaped in the quantum, waiting for one thing, for you to remember how to match it. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to become anyone new. You only have to come into coherence with the version of you that was never disconnected. Feel that. Let it land. The frequency you've been trying to manifest isn't separate from you. It's been knocking on the inside of your rib cage the whole time. The stillness you crave, it's your signal without the static. The love you seek, it's your field, coherent. The abundance you imagine, it's you fully tuned. You are not a seeker. You are the source. So let go of chasing. Let go of fixing. Let go of waiting for permission. You are the frequency you seek. You are the invitation you've been whispering into the sky. You are the broadcast and the receiver. So walk into your week not as someone lacking, but as someone resonating. Not as a beggar of miracles, but as a living mirror of what's already true. Your signal is the offering. Your presence is the prayer. Now, pause, breathe, settle into the quiet hum beneath your thoughts. That's you. That's the field, answering. That's alignment, made real. In the comments, share one word that reflects your chosen frequency this week, your signal, to the field.